Today we're taking a look at Clemson commit Jaxon Matthews. Since training with us, he's gained over 10 miles an hour in exit velocity and 50 feet in distance. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the swing changes that he's made and the drills that unlocked this big transformation. And if you're wondering why you should listen to us, my name is Corey Gradum. We've trained over 55 major league hitters that have gained over $750 million in contract value since working with us. Let's take a look at day one, Jaxon Matthews, when he first came to see us. First thing we're going to be looking at is the lower half, the legs. Put him in his stance, and as a reference point, we simply just drew a vertical line on top of that back foot. When we start going into the swing, we can see that his body's rocking back and got knee and hip past the yellow line. So that's going to be our first checkpoint on the sway. And what is the sway? The sway is simply, as that reference point, where is the body in reference with the line? What we're seeing is that he's rocking his body backwards. He's not engaging the big muscles in the leg. So the reason why we don't want to sway is for two reasons. One, we're wasting too much time. We're going backwards. So when there's faster velocity, there's no way we're going to be on time to be able to catch up. And then two, we're not using our big muscles, so we're losing power. When we look at Mr. Seager here, who's Jackson's comp, power lefty bat, same line right on the top of that back foot. And you can see when he's going into his negative move, that hip got nowhere near that yellow line. So one, MLB pitching, not wasting time. And then two, engaging the big muscles, the glutes and the hamstrings. And then there's two ways to be gathering. So you can either do your negative move while you do whatever you want to do with your front foot. So you could be gathering while you're tapping, while you're lifting, or you could have both feet planted and start getting into that negative move. But at the end of the day, whatever you want to do with your front foot, it's irrelevant. The sway is at the back of the body is going to be your reference point. Since working with us for over a year now let's take a look at his swing and how he's using his legs. Putting him in that stance, same reference point. When he goes into his negative move, we can start seeing that he's now getting that hip, staying inside that knee, no wasted movement. Big change from Jaxon that equated to that 10 miles an hour in exit velocity. He's now engaging those glutes and the hamstrings. And on top of that, now not wasting time, so he's able to compete against 95, 100 miles an hour and be able to be on time with those pitches. We have two drills that really help fix the sway, and the first one being the slant board. So all we're gonna do is put that foot on an incline. You could use a simple calf stretch or a cinder block, anything that has an increased angle going up. And what this forces is that it doesn't allow you to sway. When you get into your stance, when you gather, you can't sway back. Since you're at this angle, it really forces you to sit into the glute and hamstring and gather using the big muscles in the body and not going backwards. So simply you could do this just dry reps, T, front toss, really any type of way that you want to train it. It's just to get that hitter to really feel what it is to put force into the ground and not have that hip get over the foot and go up. He's really slamming the foot into the board to then drive off it. The second drill to fix the sway is going to be the band drill. All we're going to do is just get an elastic band, tie it to an object, and then move forward to create a little bit of tension. What we want to be gathering is into that glute and hamstring, and that's why that band is so great, because if we rock back at all, it pulls you. You really have to force keeping that hip inside the knee and engaging those glutes and hamstrings. At the end of the day, we're just going to be doing this dry reps, 5, 10 with the band. Go ahead and take it off and have the hitter feel that same gathering into the glute and hamstring, either with the foot planted and then doing it, or doing it at the same time. Second problem we're going to be looking at his day one swing is that once he gets the heel strike, sequence is good because he's getting off that backside and creating that good scap, is going to be principle number 3 of the G swing, the roll. So when we start looking at that barrel getting on plane with the pitch, notice the back elbow, where you want to see what we call the roll, the form, the wrist and the elbow, that line, the form, we want it to roll. And we can see when he gets into bat lag, notice how far the wrist is in front of the elbow. And if we were to draw a line right to his lead hand going down, and we can see it's basically at his front knee. So those hands are way out in front of his body, and he was a big pusher. So Jaxon had, hit the ball hard. Everything was pull side. He was literally just a pull side hitter, never really understood or could hit the ball to the opposite field with power, and this was the reason. It was because he wasn't rolling, giving himself that big hitting window. He was waiting to get on plane with the pitch, in front of his body to then whip across and just pull the ball. Where now, if we take a look at that swing, we're gonna see, notice that forearm is rolling to get into lag. He's now giving himself that big hitting window because now he's getting in plane with the pitch, and he is now in connection in lag. He's rolled to get himself on plane to create that big hitting window. So it doesn't matter if he catches it deep, he's going opposite field. If he catches it right off his front foot on time, he's going middle of the field. And if he is out in front, he gets to go to his pull side. So the roll allows for that hitter to have that big hitting window. And all we're looking at is when we land, how is the top arm working? We don't want to push the hands forward, getting the wrist in front of the elbow, because now we're waiting to make contact and everything happen out front. And that's where you have all your pull side hitters are guys that push and then just whip across. No, we want to roll to get that bat into playing with the pitch to have that big hitting window. And again, we're not disconnecting. Notice how I'm rolling, and that connection of the shaft of the bat and the shoulder is staying right there and getting the wrist in line with the elbow, the bat parallel to the ground for it to then work forward. One great drill to fix the problem with the roll is the basketball drill, and it's a progression. So we're first gonna get just a mini basketball, any type of ball, and all we're gonna do is open up our arm, put it right at the elbow mark, and then just close the arm. This is then going to force the hitter to stay connected to that shoulder, and all we wanna do is, how do we get the ball to roll behind the arm? So we're gonna rotate, and roll the forearm, going from palm down to palm up, keeping everything connected, shoulder, elbow, hands, hip, and knee, and that's gonna get us into lag. Then we take it to your bat. You could do this with two hands, or ideally you're doing it first with just that top arm, getting into your stance, and negative move, positive move, landing in that good hitting position. And we're gonna, again, stay connected and just roll to get onto plane. And what we want to be seeing is that ball falling right by our feet. Where you see, if you're a pusher, where you're going to see the hitter do, someone that doesn't understand the roll and they're just pushing the hands, you're really going to see that ball take out forward because they're pushing. And then you can take that then to your two-hand swing, getting into your stance and feeling what it is to roll onto plane and have the ball land right at your feet. You could do this dry reps, and then you could also do this with front toss and taking it to your full two-hand swings, 5-10 reps with the ball, 5-10 reps without, and really feeling what it is to stay connected and roll, keeping that wrist in line with the elbow to give yourself that big hitting window, and then work through the baseball. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you ever want to get your swing evaluated by a Gradum instructor, make sure you guys check out our website, gradumgswing.com. Find a location near you. We'd love to show you guys what we're able to do with your hitter.